Hey guys, Prince of Mastodon here. I'm going to show you a replay battle from Rome Total War. It's a 4-player free-for-all on Last Man Standing, Barbarian factions only. So there are 4 factions here. One of them is commanded by CliffordStone. He commands the Thracians, most of his armies in the forest hidden. Out in the distance we got Spain, and that is commanded by... Let's see if we can read his name here. Limejello. We'll look at his army. So this guy did bring artillery pieces. He brought one. Brought some cav and some bunch of bull warriors actually. And then over here we got Germania, who's about to face me. This is commanded by the host Deloaded. So he's got berserkers, got some gothic cav, barbarian noble cav. And he's got some knight raiders and axemen. Now here's my army. I am the Gallic horde. So I'm gonna charge right in there after going into war cry mode. I'm gonna charge these guys here, get a nice charge into these axemen. They have pretty high attack value, but their defense value is pretty low, so I knew I could get away with a nice charge on them and get rid of them with the first charge. But I shattered his line of axemen over here with my chosen swords. I was able to get my guys into war cry, which enhanced their abilities a little bit. I'm gonna smack into these forester warbands who are behind me now. I don't want them, sorry. Those are my guys, sorry. I do want them. What I'm gonna do is shoot his guys up with my forester warbands. And I got my barbarian noble cav, countercharging his gothic cav. I've got a bit more upgrades than he does for the cav. And I'm gonna outflank him right here with this unit of cav right here. So here's the crucial part. This is where I go for his commander, I think. Right in the very thick of combat is the commander. There he is. He's trying to lead his men. But his guys are starting to break, including himself. So, barbarian factions don't want to see their commander leave. Because their commander is a source of inspiration, and seeing him die made it even doubly worse for them. Now I was worried about these berserkers here, because they will eat alive my chosen sword, so I made sure to get my cav into it, and do some nice charges from behind. Try to knock him out here. So now they're fighting to the death, but they're no longer in berserk mode, which is great. So they're going to break without causing any more casualties to my men. So Deloaded decided to admit defeat. He was definitely losing, he was gonna lose, but I don't think he should have admitted defeat, because now I'm getting, you know, uncontested kills on these guys. Not that it matters, because it is Last Man Standing. Mind you, this battle definitely should have had scored resolution on it. But this is going to be a Last Man Standing. So I'm just going to clean up on this guy. Now, what's going on here is Spain is, first he was marching towards me, and if he did continue to march towards me, I would have just marched away. It's Last Man Standing, these guys haven't fought yet, so I would have just ran away from him, to be honest, and make him fight against Thrace. Now, it was around this time I noticed that a lot of the people, I mean, the other people besides myself, were talking trash against Thrace, because Thrace had all these pikes, and then the host was saying, I'm not sure if it was a host or if it was a Spanish player, but they were saying that those pikes are not barbarian units, should not have brought them. So there was like a big argument between, well, amongst the other 3 players. I wasn't part of that argument. Here's some fun dialogue here. Okay. They are attacking us! I mean, honestly, the host, if he really felt that strongly about Thrace, he should have said something about Thrace before the battle started. Because everyone knows that Thrace does have this, you know, this Hellenistic influence, so they have these pikes in them. So if the host had any beef with him, he should have banned them immediately, instead of letting him pick them. But yeah, Thrace is one of those iffy factions. It's like, are they barbarian? Are they Hellenistic? Who's to say? Honestly, calling a faction barbarian is It's really a subjective usage, calling another faction barbarian. Because Romans considered the Greeks to be barbarian. And a lot of Greeks considered other city-states to be barbarian. Well, in the sense of Greeks, they consider, like, you know, the northern Greeks, like the Macedonians, to be barbarians. Epirus to be barbarian. But the point here is, barbarian is a very subjective term. So I'm just cleaning up on the Germanic units. Now the reason why I'm chasing these units is, although it doesn't count for anything in a last man standing in terms of points, it does count for upgrades. And I remember my troops did have experience upgrades towards the end of my melee with Germania. So yeah, there is value in it. If you can rest your troops up afterwards, yeah, definitely go for these kills. Even a last man standing, you can make your troops even more effective by chasing down routed units. So yeah, anyways, Spain, Thrace, and I think the host was involved too. They were talking trash to Thrace, and hey dude, that is not a barbarian unit. But again, you know, if you let him pick Thrace, then he should have said something, you know? Or just ban Thrace altogether. Honestly, I forgot what the rules were in this fight. But clearly artillery wasn't an issue. Artillery does suck in Rome 1. Generally speaking. For the most part, they do suck. But there are some instances where they are useful. In a field battle, it's really not the case. But Spain is going to hurl artillery pieces, artillery shells, or whatever, at these archers. Now this is a really clumsy move by Thrace, putting his archers so far ahead of his main body here, and his cav is way out here. Because had Spain been on the ball, he could have easily taken out a lot of these archers. So here is what's going on. Spain is going to launch his cav at these archers. Archers will shoot back. Not shoot back literally, but they're gonna peel back. They're gonna reverse courses basically. So we got all these militia cav coming in, and they're gonna pull back, but they will take some rear shots from these militia cav. So it looks like they lost about what, 6 horses there, but he's gonna come back for more. But this is going to play into Thrace's hands. Look, now he's down to 37 horses. He's taking out archers, but he's losing a lot of horses here. And he just lost that unit of horses. They're fighting to the death. He's got one more. At this point, dude, you're surrounded. And yeah, they will break. So Thrace scored a huge one against Spain's cav. Honestly, I thought I was gonna lose this match because it was last man standing, and I was you know, pretty bloodied up here at this point. But when I saw how Thrace and Spain were fighting each other, I realized then I had a good chance of actually winning this fight. You'll see why here in a second, or in a few minutes. But you're gonna see Thrace basically mishandled this fight here. I don't know if he did it on purpose, maybe to even the odds, but whatever the case, Thrace does mishandle his troops here. And then you can see Spain get a huge advantage over Thrace. So yeah, initially, you know, you look at the troops, Thrace has all these archers and all these pikemen who are upgraded. So you would think, you know, Spain has no chance against this kind of army. But you're going to see what happens in a sec, or in a few minutes. So what I'm doing right now is I'm watching the battle, and I am resting my units because they are really tired. At least my cav is really tired. But I do have a pretty considerable force still. Especially considering that Spain and Thrace are going to bash each other's heads in. I do have plenty of missiles left with my archer force as well. If you look at the top right, you can see the timer is going down. because you're going to see this battle end prematurely. So Spain's doing a decent job over on this side, you know, whacking some bull warriors. But the bull warriors do have hit points, which means it's going to take a lot more to bring them down than just sticks. Because, you know, just like the Spartans, these guys do have hit points. Anyway, so here's what's happening here. Thrace charges in out of phalanx mode. So he's going to incur some casualties before he finally gets into phalanx mode. But at this point, you know, these bull warriors are really close already. Even right here, look at this. These guys are facing the wrong way. They're in phalanx, but they're facing the wrong way. Same thing over here, they don't go to phalanx until a little too late. This one was okay. So, we're gonna watch the mayhem here. Spain's bull warriors are chasing some militia cav in the back. Now you can see these guys actually broke over here, these Thracian pikemen. So I was looking at this battle with very great interest, but when I saw these Thracian units getting hacked down, I was like, wow, I actually do have a chance of winning this last man standing fight. So at this point, the host did terminate the game. And it was really annoying because these guys were still fighting. There was a lot of lag, but still, you know, we all chose to stay. And just because, you know, I already beat the host in the first, few minutes of this battle, as a host, you gotta stay in the fight. Like, don't let the fight go on this long and then just terminate because whatever reason, because we were all still in it. But yeah, anyways, the point here is I still had troops left, and if you look, Thrace is mishandling this fight. They've already lost a whole block of pikemen over here. Looks like they came back from routing, but you know, once they rout once, they can rout easily the second time. And it says here the bull warriors are beating these pikemen over here. Pikemen are winning on this side. Pikemen are winning on this side. But yeah, these guys were gonna bloody each other, and that was great news to me because I knew that with my depleted force, if these guys continued on the way that they were, I would have a huge chance of still winning this last man standing. But as it stands, host did terminate the game. So the host terminated the game. Thanks a lot, Deloaded. I still had troops that I could have fought with. And these guys probably would have killed each other. I think Thrace is actually going to lose this fight. That would have been a great battle if they let us, if Deloaded let us play it out. So yeah, he just freaking terminated the game and left. Dude, if you're a host, never terminate a game if people are still playing it. I know it was kind of laggy, but we all stayed and we all wanted to finish it out.